Hey friends, when it came time to decide on how I wanted to retire and travel in that retirement, I looked at a lot of options. Did I want to live in a tent? Did I want to just go out and camp and be really, really free to move around as easily as I could? Well, I didn't think a tent was the right thing, but I investigated them. Best tent that I found was a ShiftPod. Fantastic tent. Insulated, perfect for the desert, easy to set up. Great option. Didn't want to live on the ground and didn't want to be setting up all the time. I considered a pop-up trailer, and I kind of didn't give that as much thought as I probably could have. I pretty much discounted it because it was, it was a tent, basically, and it wasn't really my cup of tea. Subsequently, I found a YouTuber, Little House on the Road, that is actually living in a pop-up trailer. So maybe I should have given that a little bit more consideration, but ultimately I don't think I would have chosen that. I looked at converting a van. I also looked at converting a cargo trailer. Kind of similar in the way they would be built out. And van or cargo trailer really offered some really viable options. I think a van gives you great mobility, the ability to move around freely in the backcountry, to get far off the beaten path. Fairly comfortable, really good for rain and water resistance. Really good option. I also considered converting a cargo trailer. The problem with cargo trailers is that you just can't buy them cheaply. They sell for really, really good money on the used market, so you're almost better off to buy new. And by the time I figured I would have it built out and purchased, it really was, I'm getting into RV prices by the time I'm there. I looked at travel trailers, and ultimately I did buy a used travel trailer. I looked at new ones, went to RV shows, looked at everything from Class A's all the way down to the little runaway trailers that are built on a 4x6, almost like a 4x6 utility trailer. The runaway's kind of neat. I think I needed more room. Reasonably good-sized guy. So I didn't think the runaway was going to give me enough room. And I just wanted to have the ability to move freely. So it really came down to, what did I want to buy for a vehicle? So I started looking for either a van or for a truck that was capable of pulling a travel trailer. Well, I couldn't make a deal on a van. I looked at several of them. I looked at ProMasters from Ram. I looked at Fords. I wanted a high top so I could stand up. And I just couldn't find value there just weren't any deals out there. So what did I decide on? Ultimately, I found a 2016 Ram 1500 pickup truck. And I got a screaming deal on that. And if you know me, you know that I just don't buy anywhere near retail on vehicles. I will search and find a deal. and quite often that's at the end of the month, and there's lots of videos out there about how to buy a car, so that's not what the scope of this video is, so I'm not going to go there. But in the end, I wound up buying this 2016 Ram 1500, which I love. That pretty much made the decision for me that I would go with down the travel trailer or cargo trailer route. And again, after finding the cost of building out a cargo trailer, I said, why don't I just buy a used travel trailer? Yes, I will give up some mobility. And giving up that mobility was a conscious choice. I'm a big guy, like over 300 pounds. I didn't think I wanted to be hiking 5 miles out of the desert if I were to break down somewhere. So I decided to sacrifice a little bit of mobility for comfort. And I started to look at travel trailers. Well, looking at new travel trailers, didn't like the construction. They really are built poorly. The materials and construction is just terrible. Unless you get into some of the really high-end ones, and then price was, they were just out of my price range. So I wound up looking on the used market to see what travel trailers were well built. And a few names kept coming up, and Lance and Solaris, in terms of vintage, kept coming up as good names. There are a few others. But I really sought a Sunline Solaris because there's a lot of them still on the road from the 90s. And having seen them, the construction was really, really nice. On par with some of the really high-end units today with solid wood cabinets and all that. So that's what I decided to seek out. So I looked for those, and I finally found a Sunline Solaris that I really, really like. And in the end, I paid $4,000 for that camper. And it was a little bit of an overpay because it's probably worth 28 to 38, the average range. But I did get a weight distribution hitch with it, so I figure take $300 off for the weight distribution hitch. And I'm looking at about $3,700 for the trailer. But again, it's in great shape, and there's a video if you want to look at it where I give you a tour. So I ultimately picked the travel trailer. I didn't have to build anything. It was all built. It's already comfortable. I have a couch, a dinette, a chair, bedroom, bathroom. It gives me a lot of flexibility in how I want to live for comfort and finding what is the best way. Now, I sacrifice mobility, again, for comfort, and I think there's plenty of options available for me to find free camping spots in which I can camp without having to worry about the mobility issue. Yes, I gave up some backcountry places that I just won't get to with that trailer. And it doesn't mean I can't take my pickup truck there. I can unhitch and go anywhere. I have 4-wheel drive. So given that, my mobility into the backcountry is a day trip, and I think I was comfortable giving that up. So that's some of what's behind why I chose the travel trailer. It really wound up being the most affordable option with the least amount of work and the most comfort. So hope that gives you a little bit of insight into what I was thinking, and maybe that'll help you a little bit in your decision. So at any rate, I'd really appreciate it if you would like and comment, subscribe. Let me know how you think. What would be your best option? Would you want to be in something bigger or something smaller? You want more mobility, more comfort? Tell me what you're thinking and leave that in the comments below. And again, please subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. That's all for now. Thanks.